Hello, 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 party people of YouTube. I am Brad with the Big Family Homestead, and today I have a very, very special treat for you. No, you're not seeing an actual real live lumberjack, but you are seeing a channel that is new to the Homestead Network, and that is Homesteading with Dutch. How are you today, sir?
Doing great. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good, man. I got to tell you, you got the whole thing on, man. You got the flannel, you got the beard. Where's the axe?
Well, it's outside by the wood pile right now.
Yeah, that's funny because what you don't know, the viewer, is that he actually stopped chopping wood to come and do this interview.
That's right.
So, well, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us a little bit. You have a homesteading channel called Homesteading with Dutch. Please tell us a little bit about it and why you started the channel.
Well, the main reason I started the channel was I was watching you when you first started the Homesteading Network a while back, and then I was watching Big Bear Homestead and a lot of the other homesteaders, and I was like, man, they're doing a lot of the same stuff I'm doing. And I had a camcorder, not a very good one at the time, and so I started recording this stuff, and then my kids really enjoy watching the videos afterwards. And that was one of the main reasons why I started it was for my kids, something for them to look back at their dad and their life growing up. And they'll always have, unless something happens to YouTube, they'll always have that on file. So that's one of the main reasons why I started the channel. But the reason why I started homesteading is it's just like, it was ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be on a farm and do chickens and pigs and all that stuff. Well, the opportunity came when me and my wife found a 10-acre lot close to our hometown, and then one of my friends gave me a goat, and two goats actually, in the little house, and it all started from there. So that's really how I got started.
Well, so this is something that's generally new to you. Like, how long have you been doing this?
We've been homesteading right at 4 years.
Wow,
So,
I only got you beat by a year or two, man. My life before was completely nothing but being a rock star and computers and all that kind of stuff. And then it was like, I wonder what it would be like to keep bees.
yeah, exactly. We got bees too. That's a challenge right there.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, dude. How's yours going? I had 10 hives and I'm down to 2.
Me and my uncle got 2 hives apiece, so we started with 4, and one of his got hit by wax moths.
Me
that
too.
was pretty devastating because when you got a small 4 of them, you lose one. And then honestly, I haven't checked them in about 3 weeks, so I probably need to get out there and take a look at them.
Oh man, it's wintertime, brother. You better get those sugar boards or get them some syrup.
Oh, for sure. It's 10 degrees here this morning.
Same thing here, man. I'll tell you what. It's been mild and now all of a sudden it's just like bam. It was like 50 degrees 2 days ago. Now it's in the teens.
Yep, exactly. That's why I was out there cutting wood. We got to get it ready.
I'll tell you that's a fact. Now, question: what was your life before? Because you're new to this. Did you grow up like in the city? What made this transition happen?
Well, I grew up in a small town in Oklahoma. It's called Spavinaw. It's actually the hometown of Mickey Mantle, if you could believe that.
Wow.
And so I grew up in a small trailer park down there, and I was always like a country boy. I always hunted and fished and did all that. So just a country kid from Oklahoma, joined the Marine Corps, did that for 4 years, got out and came back home and kind of just got into it.
So you were definitely, well, Marine Corps, first of all, thank you for your service. And, well, how do you go from the Marine Corps to, I think I'm going to have goats now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, honestly, you have a mindset change. Like whenever I went overseas to Iraq, and you see all these dirt homes and sand homes and all this stuff, and the little kids there just running around, just in poverty. It changes your whole mindset of preparedness, and that's where that came in. I've seen the lifestyle they were living as far as they didn't have much, but they were happy. And that's kind of what the mindset I brought back with me. I didn't need a whole lot of things, you know what I mean? Like to be happy. I didn't need material things. I just need the simple stuff. And that's kind of where the homestead comes in, just back to the basics, I guess, back to our ancestries.
Wow. So, well, you do a wide variety of videos and topics, and it seems to me like it's kind of a lot like what I do. It's just whatever I'm doing today, whatever I'm working on. Yep. So give me a range of stuff that you encapsulate.
Well, one of my one of the favorite things I got on the homestead, besides my German Shepherd Gabby, is my chickens. I really love working with the chickens and watching them run around and eat the bugs. But right now we have them locked up in the coop because it's winter. You know, there's really no bugs running around. But if I'm out there messing with the chickens and I'm out there messing with the sheep, we got, I think, 9 mama ewes and a couple rams out there, and they should be landing in the next few months, so we'll have videos of that coming out. And then I'm always working on my wood pile, of course, because you can never have enough wood on hand, because you just never know. And, you know, and the bees things, it's just kind of like you said, just what you're working on that day. You always got something going on, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right about the wood pile thing, man. I'm looking at my wood pile that I had set up weeks ago, and I probably had 2 full cords, and then I got some of those. Have you seen those compressed wood bricks? They're like this big, and they're called green, GREN, and they're supposedly good as a log 2 times its size. Supposedly, throwing up the air quotes, right? But I got a bunch of those. I got what the equivalent to a cord. So
Awesome.
if it's accurate, then I supposedly have 3 cords of wood.
Right.
And it does not look like it's going to be anywhere near enough.
You better get on it. You better get on it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's too late, man. I mean, I actually have some wood that I got, which is nice because around here, I live close enough to Cincinnati where you got a lot of rich people that pay somebody to come cut their tree down,
Yeah.
and they're like, "I don't want this wood. Come get it,
That's awesome.
you filthy peasants. Come get the wood. Take it from me." And I've got a bunch that's just it's not dried out enough to chop it up. And so I have a feeling I'm in for a disturbing winter.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I got some greenwood too, but I just try to mix the green in with the season just because that's the way you just can't burn green wood like you know. It'll build up your chimney and all that. So I try to mix mine up as much as I can.
So what are some projects you got that, because for me, wintertime is a time because you're going to be inside a lot. And there's all those little weird things that you can get into that, well, frankly, for me, my wife is like, she's always looking around the corner like, what is he doing now? So you got any projects like that?
That's how my wife's the same way. She's like, oh my gosh, he's starting something else. And he's got 10 other things he has to finish still. But no, during the wintertime, like you said, you spend a lot of times indoors. But for me, generally, I like to smoke, barbecue, and I like to cook in my Dutch ovens and cast iron. So during the winter, that's when I do most of my cooking. So right now, I got a new series that started coming out. It's just cast iron cooking. So I'll do a lot of that during the winter and a lot of barbecue smoking. But as far as around the homestead, you know, just keeping your animals happy and safe from the weather. That's basically all I'm doing right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be excited to see your smoking videos. Now, do you do that inside? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I do all that outside. That's my time I go outside. That's the only time I go outside, you know, unless it's an emergency for to actually do stuff. Is I do it on my front porch, and I got a little pit set up out in the back, and just do a lot of cooking outside.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. We're in a small piece of property. We're on 1 acre, and we are looking around to find some place, and whenever God allows it, we're ready to jump. But I'll tell you what, that is one thing that I absolutely, sorry Lord, I lust after an outdoor kitchen. I want an outdoor kitchen. And I'll tell you what, I want to build me one of those brick wood-fired pizza ovens.
Dude, I watched 15 videos on that yesterday on YouTube, how to make those.
And I'm in, man. I want it. But the thing is that since we're on this 1 acre, like I hesitate doing anything that's going to be permanent because it's going to be somebody else's, and I'm going to have to do it again.
Exactly.
So tell us about your pad. Where are you at? What do you got set up, man?
I live on a 10-acre. We call it a lot. It's just we live on 10 acres. It's open pasture. We looked for 4 years for the right piece of property in the location. It was all about location for us. It's close to my work, close to her family, and that's where it finally came on the market, and we bought it up as soon as we could. It's been, I think we've had it for 5 years and been homesteading for 4 years, and we built. You can't really see it, but I live in a pole barn. Are you familiar with a pole barn?
Yeah, actually, I had one. We had for a short time a place in Indiana that we basically did that. We built the house out inside one of those. It was a 40 by 60 pole barn.
That's right. This is a 40 by 50 slab, but the living quarters is 30 by 50. And a bunch of my friends came over, helped me wire it up. We did some. I actually did OSB on the wall, just it saved cost and because later on in the future, we was wanting to turn this into like a big shop, a big work area for us. So we thought the OSB would be easy just to drill the holes in and all that stuff. But it saved us costs on that. But my father-in-law came over here, and the only thing we didn't do is dry it in. We paid a crew to come here and dry the pole barn in and do the concrete, and we did everything else.
Well, let me ask you this, because when we had ours, we spent, a lot of weekends out there because we had another home. And what we found was it was really, really hard to get the place warm because the concrete was right on the, do you have an issue with that, keeping it warm?
Well, you see this back behind me?
Yeah.
That's a Buck Stove Model 91, and I got a steal on it on Craigslist. I think I got it for $1,000, and it's originally, I think, $2,900. It's never been used. But it's rated for like a 3,100 square foot house.
Whoa.
Yeah, my whole living room is open. And at the time when we were working on the place, this thing would heat it no problem.
Wow. I hate to be the one-up guy, but actually, I think I might have gotten the best deal on a wood-burning stove ever. I got this guy from Craigslist. I got it for $100, Scout's Honor, and it looked like it was like a big, like pyramid kind of shaped thing, and it was cast iron the whole way. And I was like, wait a minute, what in the world? And I looked on the back, and it was a company from Norway. And I looked it up, and the cheapest thing that they made was $5,000.
Wow!
I'm like, score!
Wow! Yeah, that's definitely a good one-upper right there.
Yeah, I lucked out there. So, all right, well, stuff moving forward. What do you got? Some ideas for projects for the spring, man? What's next on the docket?
The next big thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build some lambing stables, just for my sheep, so I can put them in there and lamb. Last year I used my pig pen as the lambing station, and it worked for the time being. But I only had 4 that were going to lamb, so now I've got 9 or 10. So I've got to get some little stables set up, and just 4x6 little areas so they can go in. So that'll be my next big project I'm going to be working on.
Well, now you say, okay, you didn't grow up as a homesteader, and then you made this switch about 4 years ago. Tell me some of the things that were challenging. What were some of the things you had to learn? What were some of the challenges you had to overcome in real time?
Man, it's just, I grew up without a father, so I didn't have that father figure there to teach you all the manly stuff that fathers teach their sons, right? So it's just trial and error, man. I just did it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos how to do it, and I just learned from trial and error. You just do it. And if you didn't do it right, you do it right the next time. And you know this. You might not do the same thing I do the same way, but your way works just as well as mine does. So that's a lot of trial and error, I would say.
Wow. Well, okay. As we're kind of wrapping up, first thing I need to tell you, everybody who's viewing, what I need you to do is do me a favor and open up a new tab, even as you're watching this right now, and go on over to the Homesteading with Dutch channel. Please hit the subscribe. Don't forget to ding the bell, the notification, so when he puts up new videos, you get to see them, because YouTube's been playing games with that, unsubbing people and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to get off into that. But go and subscribe, because you're gonna really like him. You can tell. He's kind of like Santa Claus in the making. He's got the whole thing going. He's got he's jolly. I would say jolly is a good term for you. And so go on over there and subscribe. But you have a show coming on the Homestead Network, and that's going to be on Sunday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 11 o'clock. And I can only imagine, you said you purchased a Barney the dinosaur suit for this occasion?
No, that was Jason from Big Bear Homestead. He got that suit.
No, that's his normal suit. we talked him out of wearing it. He wanted to wear it. So, awesome. But what do you got planned? Or is it just going to be kind of what's going on? You got what's going with that?
What my plan is, with your all's network, I want to do, I'll start off with just topics, chickens, we'll talk about chickens one time, sheep, and just stuff like that, and then go along with whatever the crowd wants me to talk about, something like that.
Well, I seriously think you should embrace your inner Santa Claus. So
I'm trying to trim down, I'm not trying to gain.
Oh man, it's football season, time to bulk up.
That's right.
So, all right, now, as we're kind of wrapping up, don't forget, Sunday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be there. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a good time. But as we're kind of wrapping up, let's say that somebody's watching this and they're kind of going, you know what? I think it would be a good idea to be a little more self-reliant. I think it would be a good idea to know how to grow some food. How would you encourage them to start, to get up off their butt and do it?
Well, the way I started, before we bought the land, I went out and got the Mylar bags and started preparing long-term food storage in buckets. That's the very first thing. I bought some MREs, and just flashlights, blah, 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 all that stuff. But if you're seriously wanting to start off homesteading and you can't find land and you have a quarter-acre lot, and I'd start off with chickens. That's the easiest possible thing you can get. And most cities allow you to get a few chickens. And you get your fresh eggs every day. So as a new homesteader or wannabe homesteader wanting to get into it, get you a couple yard birds and start off with that. That's what I would recommend.
Well, excellent advice. And I think it's pretty much common knowledge when you get in the self-reliant preparedness world. They say that chickens are the gateway drug.
Yep, absolutely.
And they're fun, man. It's fun to watch them. They have their own personalities, and
yep.
I love my chickens. So anyway, Homesteading with Dutch. Make sure you go on over there, subscribe, look for him on Sunday nights, and don't forget, you need to heckle him until he actually produces a Santa Claus suit. And so there you have it. Thank you so much for the interview, bro, and we wish you well.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day, guys.